Welcome to Technology Tips from the J. Lewis Crozier Library. We're glad that you're here and are joining us to find out some more about ways that technology can make your life a little better and easier. This series of videos is especially geared towards some of the resources that you might have done when you came to the library in person. We are sad that the library is closed for COVID-19, but we know that needs to happen so that we're all safe. But we want to make sure that you are still able to do some of those important tasks that you relied on the library for. So this is the first in a series of videos, and we're going to start with what was a pretty popular feature at the library, sending faxes. So we know that the fax machine was a popular machine here, and we know that you still have documents that need to be faxed. So if you have a smartphone, you can fax directly from your phone, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video today. A couple important items for you to recognize. Number one, there are quite a few fax apps. We've chosen one based on the reviews that it got, recommendations from a number of important places, but it's not the only fax app out there. You need to do your own research and investigating and pick the one that's best for you. We're not endorsing this one. We just chose this one as an example. Number two, it's really important for you to realize that these apps are not completely free. Some of the apps let you send a few faxes for free, and then they're going to charge you. Some of them have upgrades, and so if there are some features that you want or need, you're probably going to have to upgrade. So just recognize there's a number of choices. You don't necessarily have to use the one that we've picked here, and do that investigating and make sure you recognize if ultimately you're going to have to pay some money in order to do this. But at least initially with this app that we have this today, you're able to send a fax free from your phone. So let's get started. I used my pretty old smartphone, actually. It's really probably time for me to get an upgrade. But I went to the App Store. You could do the same thing by going to Google Play. And after some research, we picked this app, Fax.plus. But when I searched for fax from iPhone for free, there were a number of choices. I had to scroll down to get to this one. But this is the one that we chose, Fax.plus. So I tapped on Get, and then it loaded that app to my phone, and then I tapped on Open. So that's what you need to do to get this app. And at that point then, I got the welcome page. I signed up with email. You can sign up with one of the other choices as well, but I decided just to do it with email rather than connect it to some of my other accounts. And it asked me for my phone number, so I put that number in as well. That was the next thing that I did. And then there were a number of initial notifications. So do I want that? I actually said not now. If I want these notifications, I can go back and turn them on later. Before I could start, it took me for a little tour. So it showed me that there is an archive that would keep track of all of the faxes that I had sent and even faxes that I received. But even right here, it tells me I would need to upgrade to receive faxes. But I would be able in the archive to see the faxes that I sent. And then it pointed out to me that the send fax button is this middle one at the bottom there. And then there's also a profile, so I can manage my account details, put in some more information about myself if I want to. The last part of the tour was the added feature of the ability to sign. So up here in this upper right hand corner of the screen, there is a signature button, and you can tap on that. And if a document needs to be signed before you send it, you'll be able to sign the document inside of this app as well. So now we went down to the middle button down at the bottom of the page and tapped on Send Fax, and this is the page that comes up. So you see I've got some choices. Here's where I'm going to put my fax number. I can add a file, pick a file that I'm going to fax, or if I'm faxing a statement of some kind and I don't have a file, I can tap on add text and then just type my text right in there. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to add a file. So I'm going to tap on add file, and that will bring me over then to a lot of choices. Maybe that file, maybe I took a picture of the file and it's in my photos, maybe it's at Google Drive or Dropbox or iCloud Drive if I have any of those. But what we're going to do in this video is show you how you can create the document with your camera. So if you've got the paper document, you can scan it with your camera directly into this app. So that's what we're going to do. So we tapped on scan camera. It asked for permission to access the camera. So I said, yes, you're allowed to access the camera. And then I took a picture of my document. I can edit that picture. So I can make sure that I've got all of the bits of the document in there. Actually got a little bit of the table, so I could have taken this circle and pulled it over a little bit and made sure that the table wasn't showing. When I'm happy that all four corners are right, I'm going to come up here and tap on next. That's going to take me to some more editing. I can adjust the image if it needed to be brighter, if the contrast needed to be a little bit more. It read it as a black and white image. If I really wanted to see the original, I could tap on that as well. So I can do some adjusting and editing before I send it. When I'm happy with it, I'm going to come up here to the top and I am going to tap on done. So then the next screen I will see is, well, I'm back to that send fax screen. There's my document sitting right there, and here's where I'm going to put the fax number in. So I'm going to tap right next to the word to. My keypad will come up, and I can put in the fax number and then hit done. And then I'll see there's my fax number, so I can verify that and make sure it's true and correct. There's my document that I attached. And I'm ready now to send. So I'm going to come up to the upper right-hand corner and I'm going to tap on send. At that point, I got a message that said to me, it'll be about a minute and your fax will go through. It takes me back to the archives page. I could tap on sent. I probably wouldn't see it yet because it hadn't been sent yet. It would probably be sitting in the outbox because, again, it takes about a minute or so to send it. But a minute later, there was my fax. I faxed it to the library's fax machine, and there it was. So it was pretty simple. Get the app, sign into the app, get my document in some way, shape, or form, either from the camera itself in this app, or from Photos, or Google Drive, or another place where I have that document stored. Do any kind of editing I might need to the document, put in the fax number, and then send it. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, please email us at jlcrozierlibrary@gmail.com. If you have topics for other technology tips videos, please send us an email and we'll do our best to create that video for you. Thanks so much for watching this technology tip from the J. Lewis Crozier Library.